This is that Tom Brady propaganda that we hear.
Yeah, propaganda.
Over.
Yep.
Skip, that's what this
so it's
is.
planted. It's like not even real.
We always have to make Tom, no matter what. If Tom Brady wins, it's because of him and he doesn't have anybody. If Tom Brady loses, what is it? It's because it's not him, it's because he don't have anybody. This is the story we hear all the time somehow.
When does he lose?
The Super Bowl. The Super Bowl when he fumbled at the end of the game.
And dropped a touchdown pass.
And he had a clear touchdown and he just...
Wait, how was that defense in that game?
What?
Belichick's defense?
No, wait a minute.
41?
But the 24th defense went to the Super Bowl, right?
Right.
Somehow.
The fifth-ranked scoring defense.
Exactly. But this is the same old argument we hear all the time. All I know is every time Tom Brady doesn't play, they're 14-6 since 2008. So they keep winning even without Tom Brady, but yet it's always about Tom Brady. And for that scout, I don't know if he looked at the roster of the Browns. The Browns got a pretty good roster.
Yeah.
They might beat the Patriots without Tom Brady. I don't think that that's a stretch. But all I'm going to say is Tom gets too many passes. It's always, it's always that he doesn't have anybody. How many times have you heard that? As if the guys were working at 7-Eleven before the game.
We need somebody to fill in.
Hey, you over there.
What's Chris Hogan's
There you go.
nickname?
Hey, you.
7-Eleven.
Right.
You know why? Because he was working at 7-Eleven.
Is that it, or because he's open all the time?
open
Is that what, okay, I was going to say. But that's what we hear all the time. I think Tom gets way too much credit for the rest of the players who have NFL uniforms on, who are there, who practice, who do everything. And Belichick, let's give him, he's a pretty good coach and is able to get stuff out of people. So I think that scout is, again, over the top in his praise for Tom Brady.
I totally agree. Everybody wants these Madden rosters. I want Antonio Brown, Julio, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. I want Le'Veon Bell. I want Todd Gurley. I want... That's not how it works. Coach Belichick has done a great job. He finds the right piece, and normally that right piece is the quarterback. You get that guy, and you can build the foundation.
Had the right piece for 20 years.
Yeah. Okay, Skip. He's been the right piece for 20 years. Drew Brees was the right piece in New Orleans since. Peyton Manning, had he not got hurt, he'd been the right piece for 20 years in Indy. That's why everybody moves heaven and earth to try to get one.
Aaron Rodgers will be that quarterback for 20 years.
Put it like this here, Skip. You and I both.
How many Super Bowls he won?
He's 1,000 percentage.
One for one?
One for one.
As opposed to 5 out of 8? Wow.
Joe Montana's 4-0. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about this roster, which Pro Football Focus says is the 4th best roster in all of football. That's what they said, Skip Bayless. Think about it. We know how important the quarterback is because we just saw the Minnesota Vikings give a quarterback $28 million guaranteed for 3 years.
An average quarterback.
That's what.
Yeah.
Okay.
With no playoff
So
success.
what happens when you get a guy that's transcendent, like a Brady, like a Rodgers, like a Drew Brees?
Don't put Rodgers in the same...
Okay, I should put Rodgers in front. Like Aaron Rodgers is transcendent. Skip, stop that. You try to make it seem like the Green Bay Packers winning playoff games without Aaron Rodgers. We know what the Saints were before they got Sean Payton and Drew Brees. The same thing, was before they got Tom Brady and Tom Brady and Coach Belichick. Now.
I have been trying to explain this and get this through your heads for 2 years on this show and through your head for like 10 years on this and the other show. The NFL has never, ever seen anything like a Tom Brady in his late 30s and early 40s continuing to overcome and rise above a Bill Belichick who has lost his fastball over the last 4 or 5 years and allowed this roster to erode and decline dangerously, because it got to the point last year he had 0 Pro Bowl players on defense. That's why it gave up 41 points to the backup quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what Tom Brady had to overcome to even get that team to the Super Bowl. He had to win the regular season MVP, and he had to throw for 138 yards. By default?
Yeah, he won it by default because Carson Wentz got hurt, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He won by default, Skip. You know it.
No, because he took a lot less than Carson Wentz had. Carson Wentz had it all, man. Last year, he had the receivers. He had the 3rd best running attack.
He's also played in a great division and conference, unlike Tom Brady, who played in the AFC least.
Great division.
But
with
Skip,
Kirk Cousins and no Zeke.
Skip,
really? And Eli.
Okay, let's just say for the sake of argument, let's just say for the sake of argument, I appease you. this is not the best roster from an offensive standpoint that Tom Brady's played on. When he had Randy Moss and Wes Welker, what did he win?
They should have won that one.
They didn't
No, we're talking about no shoulda.
He did his job, his part to win the Super Bowl. He drives them down with 2 minutes left and hits Randy Moss for a touchdown.
Now it's not a
So
team
wait a
game.
minute. So 14 points is what Tom Brady was supposed to put up in that Super Bowl?
Would it have won the game at 14-10?
Is that,
You averaged 36 in the season. I need you to get your average.
And you got 14.
The Giants were really good because they could rush the
You just hung 35 on them 3 weeks earlier in Giant Stadium.
You barely won the game.
Okay, but that's 35. You got 35. Get to that number and barely win.
Tom Brady was supposed to score 14, and that was good.
It took a helmet catch by David Tyree to steal the game.
I'm trying to think. Hold on.
It took the luckiest throw I've
You
ever
mean to
seen
tell
in the
me a
history of the
team
Super
led by
Bowl.
Tom Brady could only get 14 points?
Don't you
Somebody's
remember
trying
who
to-
was the receiver? Was it Plaxico who predicted the score?
Plaxico.
That's enough.
And Tom Brady, what did he do? He laughed at him. He laughed.
Let's get back to the last 4 or 5 years and the last 3 Tom Brady Super Bowls. Because let's start with this one. The Eagles had 6 Pro Bowl players to the Patriots 2. They had Brady and Gronk. And I'm not going to give you James Devlin or Matthew Slater.
Why? They went to the
one's
Pro
a
Bowl.
fullback and one's a special
Oh,
teams
let me ask you,
player.
okay, let's just, not give us credit. Are they on the roster?
Well, they're on the roster.
Okay, then. Okay, we good then.
And then, by the way, Julian Edelman didn't even play in this Super Bowl, and Brady threw for 505 yards. And you laud Julian Edelman. He's the second best slot receiver.
Might be one.
Okay, he might be one. Whatever. He couldn't even play last year. And then we go to the Atlanta Super Bowl that tore your guts out. You will never get over this game because it's 28-3, and there's no Gronkowski. You don't even have Rob Gronkowski. And what do? You throw for 246 in the fourth quarter and overtime to bring it all the way back to 34-28 New England.
That was the
How
first
do you
time in
do
my
that?
life I almost kicked the TV.
If you don't mind, Skip,
Almost.
if you don't mind me asking, how many defensive players did Atlanta have in the Pro Bowl that year?
Well, they had 5 total.
And
Not
how-
5-3.
How many defensive players?
I don't know. You tell me. I didn't look it up. I just know they had 5-3.
Okay.
So they had somebody over there, right? New England did have 2. They had Dante Hightower and Devin McCourty. So I'll give you that. But it's eroding down to 0 last year. Then let's go back to the 2014. It's Legion of Boom. And once again, it's 5-3 in Pro Bowlers. Seattle 5, New England 3. Let's go all the way back to the Donovan and McNabb Eagles. They had 8 Pro Bowlers to New England's 4, 8-4. So Brady's always at a disadvantage in Pro Bowlers, except for 2007. That was the one year they had superstar talent, and they didn't get it done.
Skip, if you look at this roster, they're not household names. They don't have a Le'Veon Bell. They don't have a Zeke Elliott at running back. But Burkhead, for what they do, they signed Jeremy Hill in the offseason. They drafted Sonny Michel in the first round. Skip, they have talent.
Well, they're restocking a little bit. Let's see how they play.
But it's just not, he's under the impression, Rob, that if you're not Antonio Brown or Julio Jones, you're not a receiver in this NFL.
Okay.
Like everybody got those guys.
Right.
But
There's a lot of guys.
Rob Parker, think about this. You know Vinny Testaverde. He set the record. He threw to 70 different players touchdown passes. 70.
Yeah.
But it took 7 teams to do that. Tom Brady's at 68 already. He's going to play 4 more years. So he's going to break
No, he's
the
not.
record. Huh?
4 more.
Oh, yes, he is. Says he's going to play until 45. You better not bet against him.
I'm betting against
Every time
him.
you bet
I'm
against
betting
him,
against
Have you
lose.
seen that picture of him on the
Okay,
beach with his wife?
Oh, you
You're
need to go there.
changing the subject. Tom Brady's in his time in New England has thrown to 68 different
Skip, he's been there 18 years.
But it just keeps turning over. It's
They keep-
Edelman, Amendola,
Right.
Chris Hogan. You guys have no respect for any of those 3.
Yes, I do.
3 little white guys.
Yes.
And he's made them stars. 3 little white guys. Are you believing?
What they got to do with anything?
3
They're in the
little white
NFL.
guys. 'Cause you have little to no respect.
White guys can't catch the
Yeah,
football.
when he throws it to them, all of a sudden they look like stars. They look like Julio.
Hold on. Why did they sign
Julio Edelman.
Why did they sign Danny Amendola? Because he played exceptionally well for the Rams. And they liked him because they got rid of Wes Welker.
And remember, they saw the tape of him, so they knew that he could play and what he was doing.
Right. Skip, you need to stop. Skip, you need to stop this. Nobody's trying to take anything from Brady.
Danny Amendola, undrafted out of college. Julian Edelman, 7th rounder. Chris Hogan, undrafted out of college. It's absurd what he keeps doing with nothing. He just says, give me these guys. I don't care. Just those guys up in the stands. He could go out before the kickoff and say, you and you come
Stop
down
it.
here.
Stop
He
it.
could. That's
Stop
what he
it.
does. You guys come down here, we'll beat them.
You know what? I'm upset. Because I'm sure they said that about John Elway. Talking about John ain't got no talent. Look at Shannon Sharpe.
Look at that.
7th
Nobody
rounder.
said
that.
Yeah, they
Nobody
said it.
said
Yeah, they
that.
said it.
Seventh round, right.
7th rounder. Skip, the guy, granted, They're not the big-time names, but that's not what Coach Belichick is going for. You got to have guys that are willing to buy. Everybody can't play for the Patriots. Everybody can't, Skip. It's hard to play for that team because all you do is focus on winning, and it's not about you. Guys want stats.
Yeah.
That's the only way you get paid.
Now,
And that's why so many ex-Patriots have come out later to say that it wasn't enjoyable. They like to win, but it wasn't enjoyable because it's not about you.
Think about this. Put this in context. The 2007 Dallas Cowboys, which won nothing, lost to Eli in the first playoff game.
First game.
That's the T.O. Romo Cowboys. They had 13 Pro Bowlers. That's the record. 13. New England had 2 last year and none on defense. That's what you're up against here. Think about that.
That's what happens when you're well coached and you got a good quarterback. You can overcome that. Your team. That's your team. So, that should be an indictment right there. That should have made you jump off the bandwagon right then.
I did.
No, you back
as
on.
As soon as they signed Terrell Owens, I became a non-Cowboy fan, and I tweeted that. I'm not a Cowboy fan anymore.
Why would you do that?
Well, because
T.O. helped the team.
I told you, he wrecked my team, and I knew what was coming. He wrecked it.
Well, T.O. been gone for over a decade.
So
they
now
still
what's
have
the
won
issue?
anything.
Look, Tom Brady is even rising above a coach who's trying to sabotage him now, who gave away Garoppolo for only a 2.
He did get something for him.
He got a 2 back.
Okay.
Cleveland would have given him probably 2 1s and 2 2s.
We don't do business with Cleveland.
Okay.
They fired us.
All right, fine. And then his coach won't play Malcolm Butler in the Super Bowl. It's just sabotage.
He didn't practice hard enough during the week.
There must have been a reason, Skip. Tom doesn't know. Tom should know, right? Didn't he talk to the owner, Bob Kraft?
Yeah.
Tom should ask the owner.
Tom Brady plays against Jacksonville with 12 stitches in his throwing
here we
thumb at the
go.
base of his thumb, but he did. And his coach after the game knocks it and says, it wasn't exactly open heart surgery.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Says it's more media circus
What?
than football.
Did he have to go to Mass General?
I don't know. He had to go somewhere and get
He went to little med center. They stitched him up right at med center. Yeah, urgent care.
Jacksonville, Saxonville. Jacksonville's up 20-10 in the fourth quarter at Foxborough. And who does it? Who pulls a miracle out of his hat again?
20-10.
Tom Brady.
20-10 with 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. From that point on, how many points did Jacksonville score?
It was the defense that stopped him.
But
You know
they
that.
don't have any defense.
Who plays quarterback
Right.
for Jacksonville? Help me out.
Blake Bortles.
Okay, that's all you need to know. So you stop Blake Bortles. Way to go,
Well, he
Bill.
put up 20. He put up 20
He
to
put up
start
20
the game
Well, hold on.
in New England.
Did Blake Bortles come in the fourth quarter? Or was he playing the whole game?
He played the whole game. He put up 20 early.
So Tom Brady against the hottest defense in pro football, Saxonville. He just says, watch this. 138 in the fourth quarter, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Wow. And you guys can't see it.
To Amendola, the guy that he got out the stands right before the
That's what
game.
he did.
No, he
Thank
didn't.
you for making my point. Yeah, thank you.
You need to be shaming yourself, Skip.
Chris Hogan worked at 7-Eleven.
So just got to look. I don't care what he did before then. Kurt Warner bagged grocery.
I used to be a shoe
you
salesman.
did. You
so
did.
we all did something before we got started.
You gotta start somewhere.
I was the Black Al Bundy back.
I feel like Tom Brady.
I wouldn't buy anything from you,
Wouldn't you
Rob
want my
Parker.
shoes from
Nah,
me?
because you shade tree. I already know.
Thank you for being here, Rob. Always fun with you around.